You probably should have explained WTF living off a Bitcoin standard means. You're right, and I'll do that right now. Okay, so first we need to talk about what a monetary standard is. It's talking about the base unit of money that is used in the economy. Now, back in the day, we used to have a gold standard. Maybe you've heard that term before. So the world was living on a gold standard, which means that that was the primary unit of account for the entire world, which means that's what goods and services were priced in, and that's what people paid with and accepted for their services. There was essentially this transition period where we used paper notes that were redeemable for gold, and then eventually we kind of nixed that. Actually, President Nixon did it in 1971, so that's the last time that US dollars were actually redeemable for gold. After that, the world basically moved to this monetary base of US dollars, except for the US dollars is no longer pegged to anything or bound by anything in the physical world. The issuance of the US dollar is all determined by politicians and policy. So it can be printed to infinity. There's nothing binding that. So when I talk about living off a Bitcoin standard, what I'm talking about is moving my finances and my way of living to purely use Bitcoin. And of course, that's hard to do directly with a lot of merchants because they don't accept Bitcoin directly. But there are applications that you can use to bridge that gap. And I think the best one that I found is Strike. So it's a Bitcoin exchange that offers lots of different on and off ramps to get into Bitcoin and out of Bitcoin. And they even offer a checking account, a standard US dollar checking account that can be used to pay your bills, essentially. So anywhere you have your checking account hooked up to pay a bill with, you can pay with that, and you can tell it to pull money out of your Bitcoin balance, not your US dollar balance within the application. And for merchants that do accept Bitcoin, Strike lets you pay using the Lightning Network seamlessly from your Bitcoin balance, so you can have instant transaction settlement with merchant. So ultimately what this means is I would no longer hold any US dollars. I wouldn't own any. I would own purely only Bitcoin, and I would borrow US dollars by using credit cards, but I wouldn't actually own any US dollars. I would pay my credit cards off with this checking account that's linked through the Strike application, and that would pull the payment directly from my Bitcoin balance. So yeah, that's basically what it means to live off a Bitcoin standard. You just use Bitcoin.